Welcome back to another episode of Coffee with Clover on the topic of legacy. Today, I have a very interesting speaker that's joining us for the conversation. She is from the legal field and she also does financial wellness, and she's also a researcher of Black history. Please help me welcome Miss Faith Greaves. Faith, welcome and thank you for joining today.
Thank you so much for having me, Ms. Clover. I look forward to this opportunity.
Okay.
Thank you.
So, have you been exploring and enjoying Black history so far?
Well, it has been quite an experience for this month for me. We had so many activities, but yet we had to put them on hold. So it's nice to be able to go out and see what others are doing in the community and participate. So it's been great. One of the things I admire about my culture, it's not just for February, it's every day.
Thank you.
And we have to acknowledge that because people like to put us in this little box. And it's like once a year you make this big splash about who you are, who your ancestors are, and this is when the world is supposed to know, and then they forget about us for the other 11 months. No way. It's our journey, and so therefore we have to share it daily, every day, because we live it.
Yeah,
Yes,
we have to keep the momentum going. And for your
absolutely.
contribution to the African community, you also do a non-profit and a for-profit. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Okay, so we'll start with the for-profit.
Mhm.
So that's Messiah's Professional Business Center. And the center is to empower people, entrepreneurs, in having a space for them to do good work. So we have office space, boardroom, training room, a place for them to meet where they can connect to make great things happen. Because that's what we should be doing, collaborating and creating that place of wellness, a safe place, and a place for growth and development. Because our goal at the end of the day is to ensure that everyone is taken care of. So that's what Messiah's Professional Business Center is all about, ensuring that the community on a whole has a place to meet, to be able to do its work, and we create that ambiance, that atmosphere for the community.
Okay.
Yes.
The non-profit?
Yes, the nonprofit is Messiah's Women's Network Society. So the organization itself is to empower Africans, Canadians, and Caribbean women, children, youth, seniors, and families through life and social skills, art, culture, sports, education, and socioeconomics. At the end of
That's
the day,
wonderful. That's a lot. That's great.
thank you. And thank you so much. During COVID, we were able to add on a food bank to the space because we see there's a great need for the marginalized folks in the community that need support. We have over 150 families that we support every week through our Hamper program. With our largest contributors to this group is our no other than our wonderful seniors. It's our responsibility to ensure that they're okay and they're doing well. And because of their own budgets, we realize that food sometimes can be an issue. We don't want to create that food insecurities when there's more than enough for everyone to be able to eat and be well. And so we support
Go ahead.
these ones. Yes.
Can anyone go, or is there a checklist that you go by?
Well, for us, when it comes to pride, dignity, we don't deprive people of such. So if someone calling, they want to access our services, we bring them in, we find out what it is that their needs are. We don't go with the application at first because we want to build trust. We want to build relationship. We want to know that we got you.
Right.
As long as we know, basically, there's 4 of you in the family, we put the bags together for you. Later on, the natural information about your family composition, where you live, etc., will come out. And that will come out with us building that relationship first. And that's what we do first and foremost. We're not there to drill you to make you feel less of a person. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, it's wonderful what you're doing, the good deeds that you're doing, because food is a staff of life. Everyone has to eat. Okay.
Yes.
So aside from feeding the community and anyone who needs help, you also study Marcus Garvey.
Yes.
To the history of Marcus Garvey. Can you enlighten our audience about that?
Oh my goodness, I love Garvey. I went to Jamaica, I think in 2005, and learned about him. You just always hear the name, but there was nothing really significant about him until I went there and learned about him as to who he was and the role he played in society. So it wasn't just the Caribbean society, it was all over in reference to his teaching and his philosophy. And I felt, my gosh, if we all were practicing as the spirit and the teachings of Garvey, we would be a better race of people. We would be self-reliant.
Can you
We would
briefly tell, sorry, can you briefly tell the audience who Marcus Garvey is?
understand. So Marcus Garvey, oh my gosh, he's a national hero of Jamaica. He was born in 1863, and he migrated to the U.S. about uh, the early 1900s. And his philosophy was simply Africans, you're supposed to support each other, you're supposed to work together, you're supposed to build wealth together. And so he led by example by ensuring that he had a couple of, actually, I shouldn't say a couple, he had a number of businesses that supported the African Caribbean community. He was a threat to society because he was moving too fast for a man, because he was a simple man, but he was also a very astute and when he speaks, I think the ground trembled because he
Mm,
had such a powerful voice. And he was solid in his belief in regards to where we should be and what we should be doing for the race in order to move forward. And during his time, because slavery was still in demand, it was still happening, he created an opportunity. His goal was, we're going to get the Africans back to Africa because there was such an outcry.
mm,
They were hurting. But he was able to create an organization called the UNIA, which today was the largest organization of membership, over 9 million members globally. And there's no organization that has topped that today in our community. So everybody had something to hold on to. When you look at the colors that represented his organization is the red, the black, and the green. And we
mhm,
see organizations today use those colors, but really, do they significantly understand what those colors represented?
mhm,
So we want to ensure that we are teaching, we're empowering. So people today, because we've stopped growing in regards to where we should be, because we are at the end of the day, a powerful race.
mhm. Oh,
But if
yes.
we're not working together, we defeat the purpose. And
Mhm,
that's what he said as well. We
mhm,
need to be able to be our brother's keeper. We need to be able to see how beautiful the race is, no matter where you are living, who you are, because we share something in common.
mhm, mhm,
That beautiful color. It doesn't matter what shade of the color it is, the scheme,
mhm.
we all share that. And
Right.
for most, they love it or they don't love it. And so for us, we have to embrace who we are as a people. So I learned about him and I thought, my goodness, this man was just amazing. He was ahead of his time and he wasn't educated in a university or college.
Mhm,
His knowledge came from his godfather library. And so
mhm,
he used that to develop his skill set, his communication style, and how he connects with people. He
mhm,
was brutal and when I use the word brutal, and I'm going to use it so it makes more sense. He was brutal in the sense of what he believed in.
mhm,
He did not let up.
mhm,
He went down fighting for his people.
mhm.
And I think when he passed away with a broken heart
Oh.
because it was his very own people who basically led him to his demise.
Because
Yes,
what he was preaching wasn't manifested then. But Marcus Garvey left a legacy of knowledge, a wealth of knowledge that even yourself and I can latch onto and say, let's take
absolutely.
something from this. Yeah.
Yes, we learn. We learn because as I made mention before, he built factories. He had the Black Star Line ship where he was basically pulling in cargoes from here, there, having people going through like a sightseeing adventure on the waters and so forth. He did so many things. He had even a UNIA hall here in Toronto, downtown. was there was a building that was dedicated to him because he built that. He was about real estate. He was about how we can ensure that we have the resources that we need. And one of the biggest resources that we need is financial wealth, because it makes a difference.
Right.
It makes a difference. So he was a very productive person, and he left a huge legacy, because that legacy continues on today. But it's for us to really embark on it and really lift it from where it is to where it should be today. And we can do this through how we communicate, how we work with each other, and what we're doing for the community at large, collectively.
Collectively. Okay.
Mhm.
And based on what Marcus Garvey stood for and your
Mhm.
knowledge of other teachings that he have, what are your thoughts on stopping the generational stigma?
Well, we can stop the generational stigma by educating, empowering, trying to keep our race together in the sense of knowledge, teaching them an understanding of the culture and where we're coming from. In order for them to know where they are going, we need to be able to teach that. So our culture is huge.
Massive.
They're coming from different walks of life, but at the end of the day, where there's only one root, there's only one big tree. Let's put it that way. So they're that big tree with the stump, and we're branches,
Yeah.
right? And leaves. So it's for us to really bring the communities together and make that compact, right? That's our responsibility.
Yeah, and looking at legacy, it comes in different forms. What are your thoughts on the initial? When I was thinking about legacy this morning, and it sounds exciting. It's like it has a royal tone to it. It has
Yeah.
something rich because it's
Yeah.
something that's worthy of passing on. You know, what
Mm-hmm.
are your thoughts on it?
You are right. It is rich legacy, because look at it from this lens. Your great grandchildren will never remember what your first or your last name is if it changes. The only way they're going to remember you is by what you leave, what they can build on, what they can grow on. So if we don't want to make an impact, we're not really helping the race. We're not helping our families. So it's important. What is it that you're going to leave back? So your great grandchildren can say, this is what my grandmother left. This is what Clover left for us, right? This is who she is. It's like we have, for example, I'll give a legacy of one of our Black pioneer in Toronto, in Canada, John Weir. John Weir left a legacy because he was the cowboy out in the West, right? He was able to do the rodeos. He was able to groom the horses. He was just a man who knew what he was doing when it comes to those horses, dealing with them, communicating with them, making sure that they were doing what they're supposed to do. So when you go to Calgary, you learn about John Weir. So that's important. Now we've got, for example, Viola Desmond, her legacy that she left. So that's the mindset that we want to have today. What legacy will we leave our families so they will remember and grow on that?
So like when we started, you were telling us of what you're doing in the community. So will that be your legacy? What is your legacy actually? Is it that and more?
Yes, my legacy is that and more. Because while building a community and working in the community through the various channels that I use, that's my legacy. But there's more. I want to help more. I want to do more. I want to be that part of a change that we need for growth and development. I want other women and men who understand the need of who will make the change for us. It's us.
Starts with
No
you.
one else will. So wanting to make a change, wanting to be a change maker, we have to realize who we are, what is our purpose, why are we here? Because we all have a purpose here in society. And we need to identify what is that purpose and also attach ourselves to people who share in our beliefs and growth. Because you're going to have people who connect with you, but are they connecting with you to help be a part of that change that you want or
Mhm.
that is needed for the community to grow and to develop. We
Mhm.
cry a lot, we moan a lot, we point fingers a lot. So we need to do something different. And that difference is, let's collaborate, let's work together, let's leave a big a legacy so that your name will go down in history as part of that legacy maker in this particular project or so.
Mhm. So you see, as we go on, we have to just keep the momentum going, keep preaching, keep teaching the word, and make sure it's taken. What would you tell, like, say, a group of youngsters who are on the fence? Not see, there are some folks right now, they are not even thinking of what do they want to do as a career or as in to be an entrepreneur. What would you advise so that they too can start thinking of leaving a legacy?
Well, you really have to, we have a term, you really have to pick their brains. Today's young people, I find that they have a mindset, the young one, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure if you heard a lot of them
I've
are
heard
very
it.
young.
Maybe they do, but they just don't want to say. Or
Right.
sometimes
I
they,
don't know.
yeah.
Right. So this is why you literally have to keep picking at their brains and finding out what is it that they want to do and encourage them. Listen to them, hear their thoughts, and see how best you can help them to get to their destination or to give them hope, because they need hope. Because when they're not in your midst, you don't know what sort of people they are associating with.
Mhm.
And if they're not strong and strong leaders within themselves, they will get caught up
Mhm.
in the world out there that is not always positive. So we always have to ensure that we are being that role model that the youths need and being a source of refreshment to them,
Mhm.
seeing how best we can help them, be a friend to them, get down to their level. Like, they have their own little language that they speak.
They do.
Like, I get into it with them as well. Hello, my homie, how you doing? So they feel good, right? Because if I'm going to continuously speak with them as, yes, their mother or that mother figure, I'll never draw them out to understand what it is that and how it is that I can assist them to grow into the person they ought to be. So
And,
we have a responsibility.
and you're right. I have a niece who sometimes when she texts me, it's all abbreviation, and I'm like, please speak plain English. I do not understand.
Yes,
Yeah. So
that is so true. My son wrote me something today, and I said to him, I don't know what that means. He goes, Mom, you got to get with the time.
you have to bring clarity to everything. To everything, you
Yeah,
have to bring clarity. So, having studied
absolutely.
Black history, is there anything that surprises you about the history that you have studied and the knowledge you gather along the way?
Well, the beautiful thing about it is so many things that are being revealed. So many things that are being revealed that we never really thought about or we never looked at in the way we should, the context that we should see it. But one of the biggest thing I would like for us to be able to move forward to is to be able to capture, write, record. So we'll have our own history, because today our histories are there, but we don't have full access to it
Mhm.
unless we're going to do the research. We need to have our own repository,
Mhm.
our own database. So we have the history, not someone else having our history and dictating to us when it should be coming out, what information we need to know. No,
That's true.
exactly. So every year we learn something new, but it should be every day we are gravitating, we're moving forward, we're gathering information, we're sharing that. Our
Mhm.
history is supposed to be in the classroom,
Mhm. Sure.
our history.
I think they're working on that too. But
Mhm.
I think this side of the world, it's hard to know everything. Probably we need to take a trip to the motherland
Yes, we
and
definitely
see
need to do
firsthand.
that. And
Yeah.
if we can take a trip to the motherland, we can actually connect with persons who do tours.
Mhm. Yeah.
And so they could do these documentary on these beautiful places in the motherland to say, this is where this happened, so forth. And so we're capturing the history on the other side.
That's so true.
And
You,
likewise, we need to do that on this side as well.
that's a good idea. So probably you could put pen to paper or get started and see where
Oh
you
my
started.
goodness. Oh
That's a
my
great
goodness.
idea.
Yeah, we need to capture and share information. And there's too many of us there's too many of us here not to be able to do it. We should be able to do it because we have more than enough people to be able to capture the information.
Yeah, we need to collaborate and put hands and
Mhm.
hearts together. Any final thoughts on legacy?
Well, legacy is a thing that either you're going to be a part of it or you're not. If you're not a part of it, you might as well roll over. And that's not good rolling over.
No.
No, because we're all of us were created here for a purpose. And we need to find out who we are and what is our purpose. And we will never be able to do it alone. We need people to be able to do it together with. No man is an island. And we have to remember that. No man is an island. No woman is an island. We need each other and we have to create great legacies together. So our community will grow into where it should be. Our community should be out there. We have fought the great fight, the wars, and we need to be able to say, this is what we have done. This is what we're leaving back for our children. Because if we don't leave these legacies, they're going to be doomed.
And sometimes I was going to say sometimes there's such a little divide. So you have to insist on togetherness.
Yes. And you know what? I don't have to, for example, like you to be in your midst as a friend, but can I work with you to get the mission out, the purpose, why we're doing this? We're allowed to connect. We have to be mature. We have to stop drinking breast milk, right? Because we're mature now.
Yeah, okay.
And with that maturity, it helps us to be able to appreciate each other and work with each other and make a difference with each other in the community. So yes, collaboration is now, growing together is now, creating our legacy is now. And if we don't know it now, we will never know it then.
And we have to understand it and showcase it because I think others are looking and wondering, what are they talking about the history? You know, and at this time of the year and in this region of the world and focus on Black history, there are people that are baffled. They're like, what are you talking about? You know?
Yeah.
So you
And
have to know yourself.
it's really for us to make people understand who we are. You know, it's Black history is not just about our food and our clothing.
Mhm.
No, it goes beyond food and clothing. It goes beyond our history as to who we are as a people, why we're here today. How did we get here today? And because we need to teach this, our children will know their history as well.
Okay.
So it goes beyond.
Okay. Well said. And as you've said, Faith, no man is an island. No man stands alone. Each man is your brother. I think I learned that thing in school. I forget the entirety of it. Togetherness is what we're after. We're all from the human race, and we just need to find our purpose and walk in it.
Absolutely.
Okay, and that wraps up our talk on legacy for today. This has been Coffee with Clover on the topic of legacy for Black History Month. I hope you can have a takeaway from all the speakers that I've spoken to, and thank you all for watching, and catch you next time with more exciting episode on Coffee with Clover. I'm Clover Sterling. Thank you, Faith. Thank you for joining.
Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure, Clover, and I look forward to many more connections with you.
Okay, thank you. Have a great day, everyone. Bye.